What are we doing?
What are um I
What
th
is this?
I think we just read more Jojo.
Maybe you did.
Yeah, I know you didn't because you're a bitch baby.
Yeah. No, it's because I have encyclopedia knowledge of all Joe.
I see.
I can
Only one
read it.
Joe?
Yes.
Oh, well then
Half a
that's not
half a
very
half a
encyclopedic.
half a Joe.
Half a Joe. Okay. Well, I'm sure me and Ash collectively can come up with the other half at this point, so
Well, half a Joe is all we need because we read the first half of part two, Battle Tendency.
that's true. We did do that.
Chapter chapters 1 through 31 and episodes 10 through 15.
Yes, that's correct. How how'd you know that?
No, it's 16. 1 10 through 16.
I don't know. I just know we read t up to chapter 31 because that's what I did.
That
That's all I did.
that that we did.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, part two. Uh, we get a young boy by the name of
Young
Johnny.
man.
Johnny. Yep, that's his
No,
name.
no, Johnny's part 7.
Oh. Oh.
I'm not even joking. That's the part 7
Honestly,
JoJo.
last night I was just laying in bed. I was like, how many fucking Joe names can they like actually do? Like I was trying to think of like any possible name they could use, and I was like, that that's not even a Joe name.
There's Jonathan, Joseph, Jotaro, Josuke, Giorno, Jolene, Johnny, and Josuke again. The
Josuke
different Joe.
again?
It's two different Josukes.
Okay,
Their names are spelled slightly differently in Japanese.
interesting.
But we're
Um,
talking about
yeah,
Joseph this time around.
that's true. It's not Johnny. I'm sorry. I
So
misled you.
you're new to JoJo. This is your first experience with Joseph. What did you think of Joseph?
He was a fucking dick. Holy shit.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I don't know. Like, he's supposed to be like the hero or whatever, but he's just like being an
you are the
asshole to
hero
people
guy.
all the time.
Yep.
Like he fucking sees Caesar like trying to kiss a girl and he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he's doing that." And he like goes to fucking throw fucking ripple
Spagooter.
spaghetti at him. And I'm just like, "What? Why are you
In
doing
the
this?"
Because he annoyed him, and when Joseph sees something that annoys him, his first instinct
It's
is to
just a
beat the
fucking
shit out of it.
it's a fucking random dude he sees. He doesn't even know this guy. He's like, I'm gonna fucking throw spaghetti at him using my epic fucking ripple powers. That was
Yes,
weird.
Joseph's a neat character. He's a good contrast to Jonathan,
He
Jonah.
is a contrast. That's true.
Yeah, it's especially in the manga because the anime kind of makes him look more distinct. Than the manga, Jonathan and Joseph are like almost identical in terms of looks,
Oh
and that
yeah,
helps build the contrasts, and like it helps build on the ideas of part two about like history repeating itself through the generations through Joseph, and like it builds a contrast. Like Jonathan's a gentleman, he's outwardly chivalrous, he fights fair, and he relies on his training and his natural strength and stuff. And Joseph, meanwhile, is on the other end of it. He's more of like a wacky Bugs Bunny style trickster. He never takes himself all that seriously. He likes to flirt, and his heroism and his inner Joestar fiery attitude is
it comes to light.
yeah, it comes to light over time beyond like his more aloof and like jokey outside. And he, instead of being straightforward in a fight, he prefers strategies and tricks and tools and the inherited skill in Hamon compared to what Jonathan had to train for.
Man,
Yeah.
when I one thing I really like about honestly, the funniest part of it about his character, I guess, is when he just like starts to predict what people are gonna say and shit, and they're like, "Huh?"
Huh? Do what the
It's
fucking stupid heads around?
That's
Huh?
so epic. It's the fucking like Aztec god. He's like, "You're about to say this," and that he says it, and he's like, "What? How did you
Nani?
know?" That
How
was,
did he know?
yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah, with Joseph has a nice little he has a nice little introduction helping out a new character or kind of like in
Uh,
this in kind of like Poco's role of the last part as like the non-powered younger kind of sidekick-ish. You got Smokey.
yeah, Smokey. Is that
Or
even his name?
yeah, that's his actual name. But like look at how you gotta look at how he's drawn. This is 1987 Japan. Compared to like for reference, Dragon Ball 4 months later premiered Mr. Popo.
Well, Mr.
So
Popo wasn't like meant to be black. I don't know.
he's
I
not.
don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's
he's
different.
not. He's not actually. Mr.
But
Popo's not
there
actually
were
black, but
actual
he's
black
based.
people in Dragon Ball that looked way more
Yeah,
racist than this, though. But that
yeah.
I mean,
Smoke.
that's like mainly just the art style. Well,
For
I'm not saying it's not racist,
1987.
but like the art style like portrays like the lips in such a way, and in this it's more of realistic, I guess.
Yeah, for 1987 Japan, Smokey, and compared to like what Dragon Ball was doing around the same time, Smokey's drawn, I'd say, pretty respectfully, and
Mm,
like, well,
I
maybe not.
guess. I guess he's drawn
He's
respectfully.
he's drawn like a person and not a cartoon character, and like the story kind of respects what he's what he somebody like him would go through in this time period and place. In the early chapters, we see
Yeah.
Smokey dealing with like racist assholes, and
This
those are the
fucking
people
cop
that
who literally looks like a pig. Can't make that
yeah
any better.
yeah yeah, and that's what leads into Joseph's great introduction of saying fuck the pigs, fuck racist, and drink coke.
And drink Coke, yeah.
Yeah, he downs a whole coke
One thing
like a
that's interesting to
badass.
me is that,
What's that?
even though like obviously Joseph and like Erina, like they kind of respect Smokey to like a certain extent, but even so, like, they're still somewhat like racist, I think.
I
Or
think so.
actually, you know what?
Yeah.
I got that impression just because I didn't know that Smokey was his actual name. So I just thought everybody was calling him Smokey because he's black. And I was like,
Really?
"What?
He introduces himself as Smokey.
Does he actually?" Because I know at the start the fucking cop calls him Smokey, and I just thought that he was just calling him that as like a derogatory term.
No,
So, but I guess
yeah,
the
at the
cop
end of
knew him.
at the end of the first chapter, and he says, "I'm Smokey Brown. Who are you?" And Joseph's like, "I'm Joseph." He's named after, and that's not like a
What does he?
derogatory thing. He's named after the singer Smokey Robinson. Continuing with the name
Yeah.
music thing,
Okay, it does say that. I completely missed that.
you little smelly.
Yeah, I am smelly, aren't I?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Back to Joseph's introduction. We also have the nice little contrast right after where he beats up two cops, but then he worries about what his granny's gonna say, and it's like it's a funny little thing for us to see and
His
establishing like
priorities are completely out of whack.
pretty much, yeah. He'll
He's
go
just a
around
wacky individual.
he goes around beating the shit out of whoever looks at him funny, but then he worries about what his granny would think, and that's fun.
That's like, yeah, that's typical JoJo.
That's character. Whoa.
Yeah. All
At the
right.
same time, at the same time as this, we're catching up with old man Speedwagon.
Speedy Boy,
He's
the
old
guy.
now.
Yeah.
The bro. He's evolved out of his himbo caterpillar stage and into an old man butterfly.
Man, Speedwagon was so much like funnier in part 1. In this, he's just an old man.
Yeah.
It's a little
It's because he's out of the action, I guess. He's, he's got He's become the
He's the
serious one.
stoic old dude who
I wouldn't say
fucking
stoic. He's
is wise.
he's still constantly screaming and yelling out exposition and commentary on the fights happening around him.
I guess.
Old people do in real life.
That's true.
Yeah.
Ash, turn up your volume a bit. You're hard to hear.
God
That's
damn
just
it.
what I sound like.
Hmm?
That's just what I sound like.
Well, that's unacceptable. You're
you're
gonna have
like-
to leave the channel.
Now you're like, Dylan, is there something you can do? 'Cause I
No,
can-
I already have her at maximum.
Ah. Oh, well.
Yeah. It's very, very unwell. Damn, we see this like weird fucking pillar dude
Yeah.
just
the
sitting
man-
in a pillar.
The pillar man, and you think it's a stat, and it's surrounded by stone masks. Remember
Yeah.
that thing? There's more.
We thought there was only one and it was destroyed, but there's actually like infinite or something.
Yeah.
Not really, but there's a lot.
And there's this crazy guy who's been he's alive, but in a pillar, and he's been like that for like thousands of years. Oh my god. How? We'll have to save those questions for a little bit later because Straits is gonna kill everybody.
Can I talk about the stone mask for a minute?
Do it.
So I thought it was a pretty cool like I guess plot in part 1, where there's only one stone mask. So like really the goal is to just track down this one stone mask and destroy it so that nobody else can ever become a vampire, right? And
Mhm.
now there's like
A bunch.
a bunch of them. Like it's impossible to just keep track of them. At any point, someone can just like, someone can steal a stone mask or can just get lost somewhere, and then later down the line, there's fucking vampires, and everybody's like, where the fuck did these vampires come from?
I guess that's true. Maybe having so many of them like in this place is kind of takes it out of it. Maybe if there had just been like one with
No, I don't think it's
bandana.
bad. I'm just saying, I'm just
Oh,
like
really?
talking about the story. No, yeah.
It sounded like a complaint, I guess.
No, I mean like it's a cool like story like thing because now like
Vampires can pop up again.
vampires can pop up again, but like what am I trying to say? Even now that like like things are escalating beyond like vampires being like a real threat, like even then like well I guess that's really the thing is that now that things have escalated beyond just regular vampires being like a real threat, now they could just show up as like fucking
Fodder.
fodder villains, yeah.
That's true.
So it's kind of like power creep, well, in a sense.
Yeah, I see what you're getting
Just
at.
the escalating scale.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Speaking of this scene, this is also where we see the little backstory of Speedwagon learning that Joseph has hormone powers, and that like
What the
It's-
fuck?
yeah, it's kind of weird that having it be inherited is already kind of weird, but having it skip a generation just makes me go, "What the fuck?"
I think that's
not-
fine. I don't really have a problem with Joseph inheriting like hormone or anything. I just think it's fucking crazy that Joseph's solution was to this one situation was to just fucking crash the plane and hope they survive.
Yeah,
And then
that's
they're out
kinda-
in the wilderness.
that's kind of Joseph in a nutshell. If you
Oh my
if he
god.
sees a fucking like some like a little rock in the path, instead of like tossing it aside, he'll like blow it up with dynamite or something. He always goes 0 to 100, no matter what the problem is.
Yeah. Very
It's kind of
interesting
yeah,
individual.
it's funny, yeah, and that's kind of like I have the hardcover Jojonium I almost said textbooks.
Textbook.
This is a sacred text right here.
It is.
The hardcover volumes with interviews from Iraqi talking about the characters and writing and stuff. And he talks about how like Joseph was kind of like an easier person to write for because than compared to Jonathan, because he's so much more like proactive. He's not reactive like Jonathan. He'll like go out and chase like leads on something, go out against somebody for revenge without having them having to, do something especially awful firsthand. He's more proactive, and that's what led to part two being more of an adventure than part one, kind of. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean, or what he means.
Mm.
You know.
I I am Araki's mouthpiece. I
Yeah.
speak for the
True.
speak for the Joj.
Yeah,
Then
that's true.
yeah, and then Speedwagon dies. Oh no, because Straits wants to be a young, hip, pretty Bishonen hot vampire sexy boy once again.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't
His
know.
his appearance in part one was pretty much just set up for this, you know.
All right. Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird how, Straits survived and then I forget the other guy's name that was with him.
Dyer,
Die yeah.
Dyer, he
Yeah.
died.
How he died and then Straits was just like the lone survivor.
Him and Tom Petty.
Oh
Tom
yeah,
Petty.
but yeah.
Yeah.
In this panel where, Speedwagon I guess dies, like
Quote unquote.
quote unquote, yeah. I mean, like, it looks like his fucking skull is just split open in this
Yeah,
panel,
yeah.
and I don't know how that's
Survivable.
survivable. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially considering he's just a regular dude.
Well, he's a tough old dude. They say as much later. They say it in the fucking airplane flashback. Like, don't try anything. Don't try anything, Speedwagon. We know that you're actually fucking tough for an old man. Because he grew up. He grew up in the fucking slums of London.
Yeah,
Don't
and
don't
also
come.
apparently traveled the world as
Oh
like a
yeah,
12-year-old.
round the world Speedwagon.
Yeah.
Don't come around West Gloucestershire unless you want to catch this bowler hat. Yeah.
True.
Speedwagon dies. Kind of, maybe. And we cut back to Joseph beating up another racist dude.
Yeah, I mean he does that a lot.
A very weirdly drawn racist dude with like a weird lightning bolt mustache and like a metal stud in his head. Another classic random Iraqi ugly asshole.
Yeah, the fucking the random like
The
rando
way
bad dudes are like so
ugly as
fucking
shit.
weirdly drawn.
Yeah, it's funny.
I guess it's because we're like viewing it through the lens of Jojo, right? And so
Yeah.
like
I know what's happening.
What?
Araki was very inspired by the artwork of a famous internet individual known as Chris Chan, and he tried to emulate the style of his characters, and
Ah,
that's how we got
that
those
makes
guys.
sense.
I see.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now that I think about it, isn't that basically what happened with Christian? Like all of his bullies were drawn like fucking pigs and
Yeah.
shit,
Yep.
and like
These are
and then
based on
he had
real
a
people
hot
Araki knew.
girlfriend.
Yep.
that's just Doug. That's just the Nickelodeon classic TV show Doug.
Yeah, every shitty random JoJo asshole is based on a real person Araki interacts with. 100%. You can't tell me otherwise.
I believe it. They all
Yeah.
look like they all look like they're sculpted out of like mud or something. They're all lumpy.
There's a lot of just lumpy, fleshy
assholes.
beings in this
Yeah.
manga.
What if they were
Mm.
based on his editor?
Nice. And as Jojo beats up this other racist dude, we get our first real good look at how he fights, which is making observations, messing with his opponent's head, and just kind of like putting on a show all for himself to entertain himself. and using force mainly as like a finisher.
Hmm.
The Hamon and like his physical strength are merely uh like the they're the dressing on top to his main meat of strategy and trickery. Very cerebral fights that would in turn become the stand battles of future parts.
Cerebral, you say?
Yes,
But
cerebral.
this isn't Rick and Morty.
What?
I said this isn't Rick and Morty. How could it
I
be
don't,
cerebral?
Dude, JoJo
I don't
fans
even know
are
what you
way
mean.
smarter than Rick and Morty fans, except all JoJo fans are gay.
That's true. Well, that's why they're smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, higher IQ on average, I'd say, from my experience.
I watch both, so I'm the highest of IQs.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Alright, I
I've
gotta get you
become
to
Like
take a
Rick and
test
Morty,
one of these
everybody
days.
went and laughed.
I've become too smart.
All
So
right.
yeah, after all that stuff, we get into our first like major fight of the series, which is Joseph versus Straits, and he starts the fight with the ultimate shonen technique, gun.
Yeah, he just fucking pulls out a gun. He's just like, yeah, I had this. I was prepared the whole time. Apparently, like, he prepared, like, everything for this
I,
fight.
I shoved this up my asshole 2 days ago. Get ready.
Yeah. There
What
was
was he
another thing
hiding?
that he prepared.
It's long. It's longer grenades.
Yes, a lot of grenades.
He he pulls out a lot of like wild shit in this fight, especially early on with like the mirror. I don't even know how he pulled that off.
Yeah, how the fuck, like,
How did
what?
how did he move that way?
Okay,
how did the mirror not shatter on it?
that,
There was some cracks around like
yeah.
a few holes made, but it probably could have shattered.
Also, how was Jojo being reflected in the mirror while he was behind? Oh, wait, because fucking Straits is a vampire, so he doesn't show up in a mirror.
I was actually about to ask the same thing. How did
I just,
yeah, straight
I was like,
straight
how the fuck is Straits not in the mirror?
yeah, Straight wouldn't be in the mirror because he's a fucking vampire. I never realized that actually. And he's able to clonk him with the machine gun and send some hormone into him, but whoa, it doesn't work. Straight, which is why I kind of like this whole fight is meant to be like on the level of Jonathan versus Dio, but still kind of like above it because you get Straight saying like I'm not going to be using this fight to test my abilities. I'm going for the kill. And he also like unlike Dio, he knows all about Hamon obviously, which is why he's able to prepare like his special scarf that acts as like a ground for Hamon, absorbing all of the Hamon from that direct hit. So like it's not I wouldn't say it's power creep, but like the power scale is still going up from
It's
part
gone up.
one.
Even though we're with different characters, it's still gone
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Which is a nice little like connection to
And,
part
and it's still
better
cool
connection to part
because
one.
Jojo he's still he hasn't even mastered Hamon at all, but he's
Mm,
still, because of his like tactics, he's elevated himself above, Jonathan's level.
pretty much it's like what I said in Black Clover, the law of utility versus weirdness. Joseph's like an asshole and goes around like threatening girls like if you don't shut up I'm going to kiss you right on the mouth. But at the same time he's like a tactical genius and already has a base level of Hamon.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, that's not the quote. The quote is if you don't run away right now I'll kiss you with my tongue. Very cool.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, like, it kind of,
Love that.
it showed how like even like during this fight, like he's still able to like keep his head cool and everything, and like he knows what to do. Like he wants people to get away. He doesn't want people to
Yeah.
see what's happening. Uh Obviously,
he's not,
he doesn't want
but
people
since
to get
he's
hurt.
yeah, but since
For
he's
kind
not
of.
caught up, since he's not caught up on like personal pride or chivalry, he's not going to do something like Jonathan saying like Speedwagon, get out of the mansion. He's going to like act like a freaking weirdo and chase people away and like stuff like that because he's just going to do what works and not worry about like what's proper.
He doesn't care about
He's
aesthetics.
not a gentleman.
He wants to get this done in the quickest way possible.
Pretty much.
He wants,
He's not a
yeah.
gentleman. It's just like
What
Speedwagon said. He's got
motivates people more than fear?
pretty much, yeah. It's like Speedwagon said. He's got Jonathan's face, but he's he's like the opposite of a gentleman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then he pulls off the grenade trick, which is tying a grenade to other grenades, so that when Straight Up pulls that one off, he pulls all the pins on the rest. Which I don't know how he pulled that one off either, but like that's also pretty badass strategy.
It was obviously prepared.
Yeah, he had those up his ass too.
Yeah.
Jojo's got a wide colon after this night.
Oh God.
He's got a waning asshole after all that.
Yeah. Later on, when he questions how the Aztec gods reproduce, the answer all along was homosexuality.
That's true.
And
Well,
because it was so close to him, he couldn't even realize.
Well, there's only pillar men left, so yeah, the only choice
Yes.
is Mpreg.
Yeah.
Show the panel of AC/DC with the huge Mpreg belly after eating dynamite here.
Wait, is that real?
Did you
Oh
not
wait,
see that when you
I
were
remember
reading?
that. I remember. Oh my God.
AC/DC with the huge fucking Mpreg belly.
What the fuck?
God, I shouldn't have made a joke about Mpreg last night. It wouldn't be fresh on Mike's mind.
I don't even remember that. It's fresh in my mind because AC/DC got Mpregged with TNT.
Mm.
He became a creeper.
Yes, he took
Aw,
took
man.
Jojo's rod and inserted it into himself, and it became
Yes.
Impreg.
Yes.
So I know it's a piece of fiction and there's hammer space and shit, but do you ever think about how Jojo must be carrying around a bag of fucking grenades the whole time?
It was
Like,
up his ass.
just in case.
So what? He also had a Tommy gun.
He's an anarchist.
That's
Probably.
true. I'd believe it. Beat up cops. Oh,
I don't-
There at the thing that happened very recently.
He's more of like the edgy anarchist who just wants to like be able to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of anarchy, Straits. He's putting himself back together in a really freaky looking scene, but I really like how it looks.
Yeah, that
Mike
was weird.
Mike is really fucking into anime body horror for some reason. Like, it gives
It's
him the
cool.
cutest nod.
It's cool
Sure it
looking.
is. It's terrifying.
I like
It's
it.
strange.
It's bizarre.
Aw, you think you've
That's
seen
true.
Bizarre? Wait until there's a fight inside of someone's brain.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
fucking
This
You
is
know-
where the Joestar secret technique comes in.
yeah, fucking Straight's he's pulling his body back together, and Jojo's just like, look at his
Pull yourself
legs.
together.
He's like, look at his legs. And Smokey's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Jojo? He's like,
We'll have to
we
use
have to
ours.
we have to use our legs. And I'm just thinking to myself during this whole time, like, what the fuck? Where is he going with this? What do legs have to do with any of this? And then he just fucking runs.
Yeah, he bails.
It was so funny.
Yeah. Going more with like that. He's not putting up appearances. If getting Straits away from all these people means he has to make a fool of himself and just bail, he's gonna do it.
Oh my God.
There's also a scene here, like a 1 or 2 pages of like that was completely cut from the anime of just this one guy. I think his name is literally Brute.
Yeah, I
trying
see
to
this.
beat up Joseph, and he fails, and his girlfriend's like, "Hey, that guy was way cooler than you, asshole." Which I don't know the point of that, and I don't get it, but it was there.
Yeah,
you
I don't
realize?
know on it.
Don't you realize
Honestly.
Brute was a pillar man? He's gonna show up and behead cars and take the role of main villain.
That was weird.
That's actually the same brute that killed Caesar.
Oh yeah,
He is a pillar man.
it's true.
He overcame his weakness to the sun.
Overcame its
Yeah.
weakness to the sun and killed all the main heroes.
Yeah. Just like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Why are
we
you
all-
spoiling it? I haven't finished part 2 yet.
You don't even know what's gonna happen. I could say that Smokey becomes the main hero, and you'll believe me.
I could say that there's a guy who shoots fish out of his hands, and you wouldn't be able to tell me otherwise.
It's
Wait,
true.
does Smokey turn into Captain African American?
The greatest
What a
superhero.
Words.
Speaking of superheroes, now we have a fucking reporter girl too, and it seems like she was just here for the plot, but like, I'm kind of wondering if Araki intended more from this character because
Really? I honestly, because I don't know anything, I figured she was probably just like the main love
one-off.
interest or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
They
I
with
got
really
that
this-
dropped the
impression.
bar on that this part.
What?
They dropped the
Yeah.
bar on like love shit this part.
Yeah, I guess.
But like for a nameless extra, like we get a little bit of
Yeah,
time
she
with her.
seemed important.
Yeah, and like once the danger is over, she has like a quick scene with Joseph, and they have like chemistry, kinda. And I don't know, and she looks a bit like the girl who becomes Joseph's love interest later on. But like maybe Araki just couldn't think of a way for her to stay in the story and replaced her, or maybe I'm completely wrong. You know?
Oh, that sounds possible.
I very strongly got that impression, so.
Well, she's just here for this to be hostage and get a tooth ripped out so that Straits can prove he's serious. And like he's like, if you come up here, I'll kill the girl. And just like, I don't even fucking know her. Good hostage choice, asshole.
Yeah, that was great.
But he actually does when he realizes Straits is serious, showing that he does have Jonathan's chivalry just
It
kind
takes
of
a
deep
minute.
down.
It takes a little bit of coaxing out.
Yeah, pretty much. His line of like, I wouldn't fight for an ugly bitch like that was more just like bluster to make Straits think that he wasn't gonna do it. But
Yeah.
like Straits knew better. And that's when we get the final exchange. We get one more blast from the now named Space Ripper Stingy Eyes.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
we get a really
Like, what's the music reference to that? Because it's
nothing.
such a terrible name. Oh, it's just terrible on purpose, huh?
Yeah, just like the fucking Heaven Hell Snake kill. It's just dumb on its own.
Okay.
And we get what I think is a very cool finishing gamut in the Hamon shot glasses.
Yeah, that was strange. I think it would have made a lot more sense if it, instead of just being high pressured body fluid, it was actually like a laser beam. I figured
Well,
that would have made more sense.
Shot glasses are curved on the inside, so with Hamon
Yeah.
reinforcing them.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's weird.
But yeah, that's how their fight finishes, and Joseph starts inquiring further on why Speedwagon's body was found, why did Straits bother moving him, and he learns first about the Pillar Man in Mexico, and Straits tells him, "You got to go to Mexico, my dude. That's your if you follow this path, you'll be taking a destiny like your grandfather." And Straits kills himself with Hamon, and Joseph left crying out into the night sky, beating his chest and returning to Monkey.
He was doing a Donkey Kong impression 50 years before Donkey Kong existed.
Yeah, he turned to Smokey and said, "You may touch it once."
He said, "I'll shower you in coconut cream pie."
That's what he said to the reporter girl. That was their whole chemistry.
That's what he said to the girl he was trying to make run away.
Yeah. If you don't run away right now, I'll shower you in coconut cream pie.
Well, what if I want that?
Guys,
Wow.
can we please review the Donkey Kong animated series?
That's the best
No.
shonen.
The way you said no, that just fucking got me so good.
No.
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 I'd rather not. All of a sudden, there's Nazis.
Yeah, smash cut to
To
Hitler.
the Mexican Nazis.
It's
greatest-
Hitler.
The
Wait, did they
greatest
actually-
shonen villain.
Did they actually show Hitler?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
Damn.
Hitler. And they
They
talk
didn't
about
show
how
him
the
in the anime.
swastika was made from like historical symbols throughout the world.
Yeah, we got a little Nazi history lesson for some reason.
Yeah, we learn all about the Nazis.
Yo, is Hirohiko Araki a Nazi sympathizer?
Nah, it's just cultural differences, you know.
Yeah. Plus, he's a Nazi sympathizer.
Of course, obviously. Yeah, and we meet our major Nazi character, Stroheim. He's given a very, very bastardy introduction, fitting his characterization as a bastard man.
He is a bastard.
Yes, he kills a whole Mexican village trying to get blood for to wake up the Pillar Man. What an asshole!
Pillar Man. Don't you mean the man in the column?
Oh yeah, the translation we read was a bit old, I think, which is why it said like Ripple instead of Hamon and Man in the column instead of Pillar Man. Maybe a bit old, but yeah, I think that'll be a non-issue in future parts. But whatever. But like back to the like Mexican village thing. That's only for like a page, and then it's never really mentioned again. And it's weird because like one kid like Stroheim says like pick one of your own to die, and one kid volunteers and said take me if you'll release all the others, and Stroheim says like that's what I like, kid, even though we're different races, people with courage like you should be rewarded. Kill everybody but him. And like that's the last we hear of it. And like just like the reporter girl, I kind of get the feeling that maybe Araki had something planned for this one Mexican kid who was spared. Maybe it was supposed to amount to something, but kind of nothing. We're just kind of wondering what
Maybe
happened
he was
to him
gonna be
beyond that
another
one scene.
Poco.
Oh, Dylan, I don't
Maybe,
know
yeah.
if you're aware. This thing that Mike's talking about, where there like always could have been something more in JoJo. That's like a big thing in the fandom called Araki forgets.
It's kind of like a meme, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Araki's storytelling is just kind of like weird, and compared to something like One Piece, which is very like interconnected and anything's rarely forgotten, people just
Yeah.
kind of wonder like, what happened with this? This was obviously supposed to be a thing.
Well, I think the way it is he kind of just makes it up as he goes, but he like makes a point to always set up things that can be expanded on later. So he adds in these characters that do have the potential to be, you know, an important character. He just doesn't always follow through on it. That's the thing.
That's a fair assessment, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I can especially see that in something like Part 4, which has a much more like ensemble cast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Speedwagon's alive here. He's with the Nazis against his will, and he's watching them like feeding the blood into Santana's pillar, and he's awakening. It's a very tense scene seeing this man that we know so little about, but we know that he's bad news coming awake, and it's a great payoff to like this whole very tense scene when we see him eating a vampire, a masked vampire, and showing the reader just how high up the evolutionary food chain this Pillar Man is.
He doesn't even. He's not even phased.
He just vores him,
As you
sucks
should.
him into his body. That's the whole Pillar Man thing, vor.
It's true.
Yeah.
They love to do that kind of stuff.
Hey Dylan, does that insane guy that we know and used to play Dungeons and Dragons with like Jojo? Because
Yes.
there's a lot of vor in it.
Yes.
And yeah. Meanwhile, Joseph's in Mexico. There's a little scene that was cut from the anime of him stopping in a Mexican village, and he gets stopped by some stock standard Iraqi lumpy random assholes. He beats them up. And,
You always have to beat them up.
Yeah, he beats up a bunch of Mexicans. And then he fights a Nazi in the desert named Donovan. Or I'm sorry. I should
Dono
use his
Bang.
I should use his official English name, Dono Bang.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, like Donovan is like an actual real name. Like, how's their copyright issues with that?
Right?
Mhm.
Wait. Is that
It's like
actually what happened?
Yeah, they named him Dono Bang in the anime or the
No,
English
I mean,
version.
like, was it because of copyright?
I would
That's
assume so.
That could be that's the only possible reason.
I don't know. That's just so weird.
It's pretty weird.
Hmm.
You
Oh yeah,
sounded like Obama when you said that.
while we're at Dono Bang, do you want to hear the little my little music reference rundown? Mike's music
Sure.
reference rundown.
Yeah, sure.
Donovan's named after a band named Donovan.
Okay.
I thought he was named after Ross O'Donovan from the Game Grump.
Yes, the gamer man. Stroheim is actually not named after a music person, but an actor, Eric von Stroheim.
Yeah.
And Santana is named after the band Santana.
No, I had no
Wow.
idea.
Holy Hoover.
Next thing you're gonna tell me is AC/DC is a band too.
I wouldn't believe it.
Is
Yeah.
that it? Are there any other
Yeah.
references
Nah,
up to this point?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We haven't. This is our first little batch of new characters with Stroheim and Santana.
Yeah. Fucking Donovan. What?
It
Why?
was a weird. Yeah,
What was the point of this?
I guess to like have Joseph do something since he hadn't done something for a few chapters, and to have it so that like he knows where Speedwagon is and he doesn't just like chance upon it in the Mexican desert. And I guess Araki wanted to have a cool fight with like a weird quote unquote magic cloth and a weird extending knife. I don't know how this fight works. I don't know how Donovan,
Yeah.
I don't know how Donovan does the things he does.
It's
He
a
has
special Mexican variant of Hamon.
Oh yeah.
It's still called Hamon, but it's spelled with a J instead.
El Hamon. But yeah, it's a neat enough fight. There's he has this extending knife that wasn't in the anime, and I kind of wish that like because there's a knife that's involved heavily in the next fight with Joseph versus Santana. I kind of would have liked if Joseph had just kind of like taken the knife from
Yeah,
Donovan and used
like in
that.
part one where that one knife kept coming back up.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
the knife.
cool.
Yeah, would have been cool. Oh well. Yeah, Santana's awake, and the Nazis are thinking like, oh, he's just kind of like a caveman, low intelligence. But then, like, he starts speaking, he can hear them say the name Stroheim, and he says it himself. And they're wondering, like, is he like adapting? Like, is he learning our language that fast? And then, foosh, disappears.
Yeah, he
Where did
turns
he
his
go?
organs and bones into yogurt, and he fucking slug slides through the air vent.
Slug slipperin.
He like just he not only dislocates everything, he just fucking smashes his bones into little bits so he could fit through.
Yeah,
That shit was crazy.
The Pillar Man have really wacko body horror powers, but I kind of love it, especially with Santana because like
Mike, would you want to have wacko body horror powers in real life if you could?
I don't know. Seems like more hassle than it's worth.
What if you fuck up and get stuck?
In a
Like,
vent,
it's no, I mean just like stuck, like all like fucking
all
sludge or
weird.
something.
Ah,
Just
like that.
remember your original form, babe.
Yeah, babe. But yeah,
What if
that's just
you're turning into sludge, and then the sun hits you and you turn to stone and you get stuck like that forever and you're just a pile of fucking doggy doo doo.
what if Santana turned into Boneless Peter from that one episode of Family Guy?
Yeah.
That's practically what he did to get through the vents.
Yeah. That's
What if
exactly what
Santana
he did.
What if Santana ran into Boneless Peter in the air vent?
Say, hey, boneless Peter from Family Guy, would you like to get a boneless pizza with me?
Yeah. This is my Family Guy voice.
I don't even know where to begin, man. That
Santana Santana's watching the Nazis from inside his little cell, and he's thinking to himself like, the world has changed so much in 2,000 years. Where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely? And then he turns himself into Boneless Peter.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
But yeah, like I was saying with the whole body horror thing, I like it especially with Santana because like he's the first Pillar Man. You gotta like set up these base powers that all the rest of them have, so that like once you get to the other three, you can focus more on their like weird quote unquote elemental powers called modes, and like their weird body horror powers are just kind of like side to that. They're not as focused on. They're just kind of like the mediums by which they can use these weird elemental powers. So I like it a lot on Santana. All the weird body horror shit. It's
yeah.
fun.
I'm just
Me-
imagining they're just like he's crawling through the fence and then they just hear like in the distance like the bird is the word like
Oh
really
yeah,
quietly like getting louder as he comes.
that'd honestly be funny if like a very serious, scary moment of like a monster approaching, but it's the fucking Family Guy bird song.
Yeah. It's just as he gets closer, it just gets louder and louder until he's right there. It's like a fucking horror movie, but his bird is the
You see
word.
it gets the loudest, and you see his eyes peer out of the vent.
God, you know those memes where it's characters from different media franchises interacting with each other, and then in
Yeah.
the bottom panel they all do the same thing or the same pose or whatever.
Yeah,
I wanna make one where it's Santana and Peter, and it's hey Peter from Family Guy, hey Santana from Jojo, and then the bottom panel is fucking body horror morphing Santana and boneless Peter.
I'd
But
like that. Make
I'm
it.
too bad at editing shit together, so I don't know how to do it.
That'd be
That's great.
friggin' epic. Oh yeah, back outside, Joseph finally finds the Nazi compound, and he sees his way in. He sees a bunch of girls being taken into the mansion as like to work as like servants and stuff because you know they're poor, I guess. And the Nazi guards there, the standard lumpy, nameless Iraqi assholes. They're making him like strip and stuff. So he gets the idea to just dress up as a woman and see if he can pass through.
That was
In his
fucking weird.
Yeah, it was really just cements how he really is, just kind of like anime Bugs Bunny. This is a
I
very
was
Bugs Bunny move.
surprised that they didn't actually fall for it though. Honestly, I was expecting
That-
that.
That just makes it even better. The fact that Joseph's
He was
so
very
like
clearly not a woman.
huge.
Yeah,
So he's so huge and like
but he still thought he could get away
muscular
with it.
and masculine. And
He's
that's just
like,
kinda
why
like,
didn't it work?
yeah, pretty much.
Yo, me when I wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
dress Jojo.
Yeah, and he gets offended for it and he beats them up. He hits them with coconuts. And when they get hurt in the anime, they yell out tacos as if to say ouch because it's Mexico.
What the fuck is with Stroheim, like, just gargling water all the time?
I don't know.
He
Maybe
needs
it's
to
to
keep
like
his throat moist for optimal yodeling techniques.
Probably.
optimally. I guess it's like maybe they're trying to maybe Iraqi is trying to like give off the impression that he's like this fussy guy because like we're introduced to him shaving and he's like spraying the bug spray and gargling. Maybe it's to give the
Oh
impression
no,
that he's like fussy.
I think I know what it is.
What?
Naturally, the Germans are superior to all races, but a hydrated person is superior to the unhydrated.
Oh my god.
He's peak Aryan.
that's that's good enough guess as anything, honestly. German hydration is the greatest in the world.
That's why the Germans invented Gatorade. It hydrates better.
That's true.
It does, doesn't
That's in the end crawl. Stroheim invented Gatorade before he died.
He actually died in the lab creating a Gatorade that had too many electrolytes. Got
it?
shocked.
They shorted out his brain. Yeah. Yeah. We're cut back to Santana fucking body invades one guy through the eyes.
And he
Makes
gets
him
all
huge.
fat, and he looks like Amy from that one comic where she wore Sonic.
Ew.
I didn't need to know that.
It's
It's
terrible.
pretty infamous among the autistic Sonic fan community.
Nice.
Okay. Well, actually, I know what you're talking about.
See, it's famous.
Oh god.
Uh, um, yeah, he's in this really disturbing fat state. Very the
Inflated.
body horror for the Pillar Man is drawn really cool. It's just
Well,
the right
it's
amount
not
of disturbing.
him. He's just inside of this guy's body.
He's in a flesh suit.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Put on
like
your best.
realistically speaking, that guy should be even huger if his fucking skin didn't burst at all.
Hmm.
Because
Probably.
Santana was like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
True.
The Pillar Men sometimes are drawn like they're fucking 20 feet tall.
There's no rules. Araki's in charge. Shut the fuck up.
That's true.
Just
Uh,
it is what it is.
yeah. They fill him full of lead, but he keeps the bullets in his body and like he makes a finger gun and shoots them, and that's kind of funny too.
I thought he was
Yeah.
gonna shoot out his
Bones.
his
Same
bone
thing,
like
his bone.
Kimimaru.
Yeah, I thought that too. I said the same thing.
Yeah. That's
Actually-
exactly what I thought was gonna happen.
I actually thought that's like what he did before I rewatched it.
Yeah, it was actually just bullets that he like moved them to the tip of his finger from somewhere else in his body. Somehow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when Joseph arrives. But
Jojo, it's you.
you're Joseph. And he uses some of Stroheim's hair to make a hair barrier.
That
I
was
like-
pretty cool. Well, what he did was he just made them like into like needles kind of, and he just like threw the needles to like block each individual bullet.
Not really. Like he uses them as like a connecting base to make like a Hamon barrier.
Really?
He's like, yeah, you can. It's clearer in the anime. He's like swishing his hands around, and the bullets aren't necessarily like hitting the hairs. They're hitting the. It's like a force field of Hamon, kinda. I like the idea and concept, but like based on what we know about Hamon, it feels a little bit far fetched, and like this is the only time we ever see anything really remotely like it. You know,
Well, no, it makes sense.
I guess.
Like pretty much all of the Hamon techniques, they all like make sense kind of like
It was
based
a
on
great hang glider.
Oh yeah.
it's just
Why didn't
weird.
Why didn't Joseph defeat Santana with a hang glider?
Yo,
I
why
want to see
why
What?
didn't Joseph, when he was in the plane, why didn't he just make a hang glider out of the carpet? Carpets are great conductors of hormone, probably.
Everything's a great conductor of Hamon.
Carpets?
They say that like in every fight in part in part one. Blank is also a great conductor of Hamon.
Hmm.
So yeah, Joseph versus Santana. It starts up, but it starts up with Joseph trying to befriend Santana in a way, which is kind of funny actually because like he's such like a hot-tempered guy and is so easily annoyed and prompted to beat the shit out of people. So it's kind of funny that his first instinct is to befriend Santana, but it kind of makes sense because he's not the one who attacked Speedwagon initially and like kept him in the straitjacket. And the other people like here that Santana killed were fucking Nazis. So like Joseph's train of thought makes sense. And then him flipping the switch to this dude can go fuck himself because he's being ignored is that's very Joseph. I like this.
However, on the other hand, do you think Joseph knew what a Nazi was, like, at all? He
Yeah,
doesn't strike me
Of
as
course he
the type
did.
to
he
read the
knew
newspaper.
he knew on when he saw Donovan that he knew he was German. He knew
Okay.
what the Nazis are.
This is like during World War II. Everybody knows what the Nazis are.
It's 38, so it's like right before.
No, it's before America joined the war, but the war had already started.
Ah,
Yeah,
maybe that's why Joseph and Arena were moved to New York by Speedwagon.
I think that. Yeah, well, no, it was
Yeah, that
because of the
makes sense.
stone mask. Because he was researching the stone mask and he wanted to, I guess, like inform Jojo or something. I don't know.
Nah, because like it seemed like he was keeping all that stuff from Joseph. You know.
I don't know. He said something. No. Arena said that. Uh, yeah. I don't know. Arena. I think Arena said something to that effect, but it might not have been like directly that. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, who cares? We're focusing on Santana now.
Yeah.
We get the cool rib bone blades. I like that a lot. And this is also kind of where Araki starts something for just this fight, which is the attack names coming up as text boxes. It feels like Araki kind of like experimenting with something, and apparently he decided not to continue because it never shows up beyond this one fight with Santana. You know,
Okay, I'm trying to find this.
the
I'm not.
rib bone blades and the meat invade. They both got little text boxes saying the attack
Oh,
names,
this. Yeah.
but it never comes back again.
We kind of get similar stuff, like with there was the part where it was like explaining exactly what the powers of a vampire are or something. I think that
Yeah,
was
with straights,
yeah.
that's true. But it's my point is
It's
that
slightly different, yeah.
beyond this fight with Santana, that kind of thing really doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
There's still narration, obviously, but like stuff like this, the text boxes with like attack names and like stats don't really come back around.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is a good fight. I like how it goes. It feels like everybody present, even though Stroheim and Speedwagon can't actually fight Santana. It feels like everybody present kind of is put to use with like Speedwagon giving like an emotional connection to what's going on. Instead, like if Stroheim was the only other person around, I don't feel like we would have had such strong reactions to like
Of
seeing
course not.
Joseph in trouble. You know, seeing Speedwagon upset makes us upset because we want what's best for Speedwagon. Always, my little gay boy.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Oh
already
man.
kind of been established that he does care about Speedwagon, of course, and like there are people that the people he cares about, he's going to worry about more.
Hmm. Like earlier when he finds out from Donovan that Speedwagon is in fact alive, he's actually like crying out of
Yeah, he
happiness.
legit cries. That was cool.
It was nice. Yeah. I also like about this fight that kind of like with Straight So in the one exchange with the scarf, but like more consistently, Hamon getting a good hit with Hamon isn't the end all be all of the fight. It doesn't work, and they need to find a way to get past his skin in order to actually like pump him with Hamon and beat him. And like Joseph tries a few things. He tries a foot knife. He tries like kicking a knife into him, but that doesn't work because he like rubberizes his skin or something. He tries the eyes
Yeah.
too, but he sinks in his head to dodge.
No, he actually does hit his eyes, but they also turn to rubber.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No, you're thinking of when Jojo sunk in his fucking hand when
Oh
he
yeah,
went to go punch Santana, and he just like he did the trick of his hand just being in his sleeve.
yeah, and he's like, my arm is. Hand pops out. It's fine. Look, I'm doing, but I can take my thumb off too. Look, isn't this funny, guys? You guys having fun? It really does go to show that like even now Joseph really fights more to entertain himself. He's just being an asshole for his own amusement. Look, but now I can take my thumb off. Funny.
And also, it turns out that the ripple makes him immune to the fucking body morph shit.
Kinda, yeah. The Hamon isn't strong enough to actually pierce Santana, but like its presence is keeping him from
Being
being eaten
absorbed.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, until he's unconscious. But then we find out that Joseph actually wasn't unconscious. He was going to let Santana absorb him part way so that he could like be at his innards and pump him full of Hamon, and it works. He rips him in half. Jam, skaboom.
Yep. And
Pulls that off.
then Santana's just dead immediately.
Of
Fight's over.
course. Yes.
Because
Now
I
his
mean,
top
how could you survive that?
be a pillar man.
True.
Yeah, then he's gonna pull Santana outside, but his top half, but he's still so tired. So he gets halfway up the stairs, but then he gets stopped by the Meat Invade. Ooh, don't you love that name? Meat Invade.
Yeah. Meat invade. That's
They're
a
like, they're like leeching off him,
that's a
little
move.
flesh chunks. It's cool. I like it. You're gonna hear me say that a lot about this crazy body horror.
You've already said it like every chance you have.
I know. Yeah, but then Stroheim finally joins the fray in order to open a single door. We
And
get yeah,
in
and
the
then he
anime, he
fails.
jumps off the stair. In the anime, he jumps up the whole flight of stairs in like one step.
No, he
Oh
does it
yeah,
in the manga too.
Well, in the manga, you can't tell because it's you only get a few
Oh,
frames for
actually,
what it.
he jumps up to like the fifth step from the top,
and then stops and he says a little speech about "Leave this to me." Even I can open a door, and it takes like
and then
10
Santana
seconds.
gets him.
Yeah, like could have done that a little faster, buddy. Maybe didn't have to lose that leg. But yeah,
Yeah.
Joseph gains a little bit of respect for Stroheim when Stroheim tells him to cut off his leg with an axe in order for them to open the door. But Santana is able to survive in the sun long enough to jump into Stroheim's open leg wound and invade his body.
How the fuck, like, how does Jojo have all this time to like get up, get an axe, and cut his leg off
Yeah.
before
Well,
Santana does literally anything? Like
Hmm.
I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Santana was blue screening. Didn't you see his eyes?
He was just disassociating for a hot second.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Time is weird in JoJo. Time seems to like stop when somebody's talking, you know? Just kind of manga in general, but especially in JoJo.
The whole quote happens in a fraction of a second rather than the amount of time it actually takes to talk.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, Stroheim then blows himself up, but before he does, he tells Joseph about the three other Pillar Mans in Italy. He's got to go to Rome and meet somebody that Speedwagon also knows. I mean, he learned we saw earlier that he gave Speedwagon a truth serum to learn about like what he knew about the stone mask. So it's not really like commented on beyond this very vague set of sentences, but Stroheim knows about the history with Jonathan, Dio, and the stone masks, and he knows like so he's able to say this stuff about like Joseph's destiny and shit like that.
It's weird. Like it's supposed to be a secret that only fucking uh
A few people know.
Arena, Strizo, and fucking Speedwagon know about, but apparently fucking all of the Nazis know about it. Um, you know, other people know about it. It's like, what? What is this?
Yeah, seems like Nazis kind of know it from Speedwagon, and also they know about Ripple and stuff from Caesar.
Oh, I guess.
But anyway, it's just kind of like a minor thing, you know. Strong blows himself up, but Santana is still alive-ish, and he's gonna jump into the well. Joseph and him punch one more time, and they get knocked into the well. But Joseph, he's okay with it because it's high noon, and the sun reflecting off the water in the well is able to fry up Santana until he's forced to turn himself to stone. And the fight ends. It was a
Wonder
good
if
fight.
Santana's gonna come back.
Nope.
Oh,
That's most people's reactions. Like, I wonder if he's coming back. Oh, he's not.
okay.
um,
You didn't have to
yeah.
spoil it for me, buddy.
Oh, here's another spoiler. I think Joseph's related to Jonathan.
What? That's
What?
ridiculous.
I don't believe you.
Jonathan died before he could get it on.
Jonathan died celibate. That's why he's in heaven.
Yes.
Jonathan's not in heaven because he's not dead yet, Mike.
Ah, that's right. Jonathan became a underwater zombie. He's down there haunting the bottom of the depths.
I think he's dead.
Yeah, he's
He's,
dead.
he's in Davy Jones's locker.
Just because like
He's
his body
Jon-
is being used doesn't mean he's alive.
yeah.
Oh, you're aware of that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's what
aware.
I was alluding to.
Jonathan dove into the sea before the ship exploded because he wanted to meet SpongeBob.
Yep. Who
I'm
wouldn't?
going
You know
to
what?
meet SpongeBob.
When Santana stopped on the stairs, it's because he was thinking about how many episodes of SpongeBob he missed in 2000 fucking years.
It's like the time travel episode of SpongeBob.
Yeah.
He was thinking about how many episodes of Spungar he missed.
He was thinking about that nightmare he had about dead Squidward. Or no, Squidward suicide. All in the pillar.
Squidward.
I mixed it up with dead Bars. Nah, he was remembering how funny he thought the Grandma's Kisses YouTube poop was.
He looked at Jojo and he said, "You old slut bag," and he chuckled.
That's
Man,
what
so we go to
whenever
Rome.
whenever Santana smiles in the manga, he's thinking about Grandma's Kisses YouTube poop. That's canon. Araki said so in the Jojonium volumes that I'm reading.
Probably,
right here.
yeah. I believe you.
Yeah.
You don't have to cite your sources. It's okay.
Chapter 18 of Battle Tendency. In the collected volumes, its official title is Joseph versus Sanviento Part 9, even though the fight's already over, because they apparently had to change it from its original better title of Spaghetti Battle.
Yo, why?
I know, right? Why?
Why? Why would you do that?
Why would you change it from Spaghetti Battle?
I don't get it.
I want to see the rigatoni.
But anyways, spaghetti battle.
Joseph meets an asshole. Well, he's not really an asshole. He just meets a ladies guy in a restaurant. Well, he doesn't even meet him. He just sees them. He just sees a couple from across the way. The guy's getting all romantic on a girl, and Joseph's like, "This guy's annoying. I'm gonna attack him with spagoot."
Yeah,
And
you
then
see, so you kind of like wanted to get my reaction on that, and like, I don't
I just
know.
wanted, I just wanted to, I just wanted to type out, I just wanted to type out the phrase "spaghetti battle" to you.
Oh, I guess that makes more sense to me. I didn't like find this like scene to be like that hilarious, I guess, or interesting. It was just a
Eh,
little
It's
weird. I
it's just like
was
it's just a way to give Caesar his introduction.
yeah.
You know?
I was just more so like um what am I trying to say? Distressed that fucking Jojo was such an asshole. But
Yeah,
I digress.
yeah. Yeah, this is Caesar's intro, and it's a solid intro. We see his ladies' man tendencies up front, and which is like
It's
setting him up as somebody Joseph dislikes. But then when he like attacks him with the spagoot, um, we see that this guy's also a match for Joseph as a nice little like instead of being like just at Joseph's mercy like every other asshole, he's a match for him. And this
it's
is
like
all before
oh.
Yeah, and this is all before we learn he's related to last part's Baron Zeppeli.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing. And then they have another fight outside of a fountain, and we see Caesar's special, unique way of using Hamon, which is bubbles.
Uh Bubbles, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think of Hamon bubbles?
They're bubbles.
You're bubbly.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Kind of like the elemental quote unquote powers of the later Pillar Men, and it seems like Caesar's bubble powers, they feel like kind of a precursor to stand abilities with how odd and like fantastical they are. And maybe Iraqi was already kind of like itching to break away from Hamon by then. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Like you
It
can only
feels
like talk about how fucking Hamon works so many times. You can only
yeah,
expand
pretty
on it so
much.
much. It's like it's there's only so much that can be done with it. Whereas stands, like you can literally do anything fucking stands.
Yeah, and Sands also kind of came about because Iraqi wanted to make it so that like he didn't have to keep making muscle dudes. I guess he wanted to make it so that like anybody, any design could have a power. It didn't matter how a person looked. You could have because with psychic powers like stands, you could have like a scrawny dude doing crazy shit. You know,
Yeah. I mean, Zeppeli was pretty well,
unassuming. Yeah,
yeah, I mean in the suit he didn't look very buff, but obviously he was incredibly buff
yeah,
on the inside, and that's all that matters.
yeah. We saw those insides. You got fucking ripped in half.
We did, yeah. Love
Oh
those
yeah,
insides.
Caesar's bubble powers are mentioned in this Jojonium interview with Iraqi that I have right here. Iraqi talks about how like he wanted to have people in part two have unique uses for Hamon, which is where like Joseph's trickery comes in, Caesar's bubbles, Lisa we later see fights with a scarf as a weapon. Yeah, um, like the bubbles. Caesar's bubbles are actually more important than you think for the future of JoJo because like the
Oh yeah,
spherical.
there's that one scene.
No, not that one scene. The spherical nature of them. Araki liked it, which is where it says right here there are infinite possibilities that come out of a spherical shape like a bubble. I consider that to be a very important aspect of JoJo. Both Gyro in Part 7 Steel Ball Run, as well as Josuke in Part 8 JoJolion, inherit these spheres. My stance on that hasn't changed from when I originally drew Caesar.
What does that
Yeah,
even
I
mean?
don't understand that.
he likes spheres, so he uses them later in later power sets.
He likes fucking balls, my dude.
My food!
What the fuck? That is so
Araki
like
specific.
and not even specific. It's just general like
It's weird.
spheres.
Yeah,
Why is
you'll
that a very
see
specific thing that you liked and you wanted to include?
you'll see it more in those parts, but also later. Caesar has a very cool fight um in a later volume of part 2 that puts his bubble powers to better use than what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Because like
Dude,
here he's just kind of throwing them, but you see him better later, you know?
dude,
And
I'm gonna fill my shit with rhombuses and just be like, yeah, I like fucking rhombuses.
welcome to Rhombus Battle.
All of my powers are rhombus themed.
Feel the edge of my rhombozoid.
We gotta collect the 7 dragon rhombuses.
This cutting power of my rhombus burns with an awesome heat.
And then he
Its
goes
rhombozoidals
he
tell me to defeat you.
and then he goes super rhombus and it becomes a 3-dimensional rhombus.
Yeah, yeah.
What would
But that's
what would such a magnificent shape even be called?
Rhombozoid.
rhombosis.
Pyramid with no brim?
Yeah, yeah. Caesar's bubbles are more far-reaching than you expect. Oh yeah, and he and Joseph, they fight with he like puppeteers a girl with Hamon somehow. We get a nice upskirt of hers. That's very classy, Araki. Thank you for that. And Joseph does the same to a pigeon. He stuffs a live pigeon into a woman's mouth, probably giving her some sort of disease in the process in order to beat Caesar.
Yo, that was so weird. He just fucking kisses this girl and then all of a sudden she's like a fucking gorilla fucking fighter.
Strength. Yeah. Well, we
I don't
kind of
know.
saw this with the fucking brainless body of Wang Chan at the end of part 1. You can use Hamon to control people's muscles. So he
Yeah.
makes a lady choke out Joseph.
I don't know. Just fucking Caesar like being like a fucking ladies man is just really weird. He just like approaches random women and like charms them and shit. It's so weird. I don't know.
He like says one sentence to this girl, and then she's perfectly fine with him smooching on her.
Yeah, like
And
she's
then
not even like what? And then
yeah,
obviously she's mind controlled after that and it's like okay.
yeah, she's still more important than Mark.
Honestly.
But before we get to Mark, we have some characters that are a little less important than Mark, but still pretty important, I'd say. Not to Mark's level, but they're still there. The rest of the Pillar Men.
Oh, those guys?
Yeah,
They're
Those
nothing.
fucking
They're nothing
chumps.
compared to Mark. They're totally not Mark.
yeah.
Where would we be without Mark?
Um, here,
Oh, right, I forgot. Sorry. Um,
Mark doesn't
I was
affect my
insensitive.
Dylan, I know it's really important to you, but Mark is just a fictional character after all.
I
No,
don't
he's
believe
not.
you. Mark is real. He was at my bedside last night.
Call the
I know someone named Mark. Believe it or not, it's actually a very common name. Did you know that?
Nah.
Nah, dude. All my fucking the most common name I know is Cremulas.
Who's Cremulas?
My cousin.
Okay,
He's a human. Do
His-
not worry about it.
all right. What about AC/DC? Is that a good name?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because there's someone named AC/DC.
Yeah. First we meet Wham
Wham!
or Wamu, or for you English speakers. I like both. Yeah, he awakens and kills a bunch of Nazis. Very cool. I showed you the anime clip, Dylan. It's accompanied by some sweet dubstep beats.
It's kind of cool.
And he says, "Awaken, my masters," and he awakens AC/DC and Cars. Oh yeah.
And then the music go dun dun dun.
This is like
dun,
peak
dun, dun,
JoJo
dun.
right
Come
here.
on, come on, come on. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those fabulous poses, those mostly naked men, those bare ass cheeks.
Oh man.
Those men are blasting bare cheeks. You gotta
I think
believe.
this is like the moment that turned like half of the world's like gay population, like this is the moment that turned them gay.
Hmm.
Probably.
Some of these scenes with the fucking pillar men, especially in the manga, look like fucking like bara hentai scenes, you know? The fucking muscle porn. The one in particular of Wamu all like clenched up and beefy looking down at Joseph with like his fucking loincloth just barely covering like what would be where his dick is.
Mike,
Oh
I'm
my
afraid to
God.
say I simply don't get the reference to muscle porn. I think you're a bigger freak than me right now.
No,
Have you guys ever seen Ultimate Muscle Roller Legend?
no.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up, Dylan.
Have you seen it?
You showed me it.
I
What is it?
know.
It's this 3D animation of a dude riding a quad, but the wheels fly off, so he just grabs them and like he keeps going, and another dude mounts him, and they're both naked.
He's riding another
Uh,
dude who is the motorbike or whatever, and
There's
then
there's more crazy
they
shit that
like they
happens, but I
fight a
don't remember.
giant mech.
That sounds like something the Pillar Men would do.
They fight a giant mech, and then at the end, the son is a baby.
Oh, like Teletubbies.
Yes,
Nice.
it's so ridiculous.
Anyway, yeah, AC/DC, Wham, and Cars are named after the bands. The Cars, AC/DC, and Wham, obviously. They awaken, and we find out that their goal is to find this special gemstone called the Red Stone of Aja, which is named after the Steely Dan album Aja. It's nice.
Shit.
And that's their big goal. They're gonna go out and see how humanity's evolved in the past 2,000 years. They're pretty sure that the Roman Empire is done.
Maybe.
That's their only real guess. Yeah, I'm pretty boss. Boss's special friend who sleeps in the same bed as him, AC/DC. I'm pretty sure the Roman Empire is gone. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of looking around. I think things have changed. But yeah, that's when the 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 quad the quartet of the most important characters finally arrive. Joseph, Caesar, Speedwagon, and Mark.
Why'd you say it like that?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking about Mark's fiance that he's definitely gonna see again.
Oh, his
It-
super hot babe waifu?
yeah, his tubby webby pony waifu.
Yeah.
We see a picture of her in the car, and it turns out they're gonna get married when he goes on leave next week. and he's definitely
What if
going to survive. I
what
don't
if
want to hear
Jojo
anything.
fucks her?
What if Caesar eats her picture?
What the fuck?
Didn't you see him like after fucking Mark dies? Spoilers, obviously. That was an important scene, definitely. Caesar like takes out the picture of his girlfriend from the locket and like puts it in his teeth, and then like the next panel his face is covered by his hand, so you don't see his mouth. And then the next time you see his mouth, the picture's nowhere to be seen. So I can only assume that he ate his fucking picture. He wanted to eat the picture of that girl for some reason. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Maybe it was a dying promise to his lifelong buddy, the most important character, Mark. Don't worry, my dying friend. I will go to Nazi Germany for you, and I will find your girlfriend, and I will eat her whole.
Oh my
Is
god.
whole with a W or whole without?
Pick your poison.
Uh,
And Mark's like, I'd appreciate that. I'm missing half my brain. What did you say again?
Man, I wish I could understand you, Caesar, but half my brain turned into Pepsi.
I'd like to say something, but I'm also missing half of my mouth and tongue. That really
He writes it all down and hands it to Caesar.
I
And
mean,
then he fucking
fucking
collapses.
Dio can speak with his head decapitated, so
Yeah, but Dio's undead.
yeah.
I don't think undead makes it so you have all of a sudden have lungs and a vocal cord within your head.
Hey, Dyer spoke as just a head.
Aren't the vocal cords in the throat, not the lungs?
Yeah, but you also need lungs.
I guess.
Dude, Dyer spoke as just a head.
Well, I mean, Dio had body horror powers. He could have been manually flicking the strings inside of his throat with his vein
Manually
tentacles.
flicking the bean.
Bean yourself, Mike.
No. That's it.
I'll bean you.
Mark freaks out when he sees a bunch of skin suits, and then he runs into Wham, and he accidentally gets half his body eaten.
Oh my
he's
god.
And in that one panel, when he sees them, he's like as tall and wide as their calves. Like his head is smaller than their kneecaps, and is
Guys.
at level with them.
I just had a realization.
That panel is fucking bonkers. What?
The Pillar Men can eat their own ass.
Oh yeah.
They can.
That's what their dubstep theme songs were orchestrated to. That's what they were created for, to set the mood when they eat their own ass.
With eating ass invented.
Oh my god. I can't believe that. I can't believe they actually ate their own ass.
On screen, on panel.
Holy shit.
Can you believe it?
Yeah,
wacky.
I can believe it.
What a world we live in.
So,
Yeah,
the bubble
the fight
launcher.
starts. Bubble Man.
It doesn't work.
Bubble Man. They summon elemental hero Bubble Man, aka Caesar, and nothing works. Wamu uses wind wire things that I'm pretty sure don't actually return in his later fights to pop all the bubbles. Speaking of stuff that doesn't return, Wamu has his shadow stepped on, and he reflexively attacks cars
What?
because apparently he doesn't like it when people step on his shadow.
Oh yeah, that was so weird. I could not
It was-
understand what the fuck was happening.
When I first saw that, I like all I could think is like, okay, this is foreshadowing something. Like this is a weakness that'll be used in a later fight, because it's so random and like not connected to anything else. It doesn't tell us anything about Wham that like beyond the obvious of he doesn't like when his shadow is stepped on, but it never comes up again. Like maybe like Araki had a plan for this in like Wham's later fights that he just had to like change, But like, yeah, in the final product, this never comes up again.
I don't know. It's
Weird.
just like I said, I could not follow this at all. That part. Like
It's
I just
wacky.
didn't understand what the fuck was happening.
There are Aztec gods of fitness looking for a cool rock that will turn them into perfect beings when combined with their special home modded stone mask.
We all need a cool rock, you
Rock.
know?
Yeah.
Why do you think? Why do you think his name is Araki? He likes cool rocks.
What
That's
if they
that's
what
what Part 8's all about, rock humans.
What?
Yeah, that's what Part 8's about. Rock humans.
what if
Like
they wanted
Angelo?
the stone so they could eat their own ass at double speed?
Hmm.
Hmm.
What if they used their body morphin powers to turn their booty into groceries? So that they could eat the booty like groceries.
Food for thought, literally.
Food of ass.
Yes.
Rock humans.
What if they
Like lobster.
hmm
Herm.
this is
You
very
sound like a
complicated. I
Minecraft
can't
villager.
like
Herm scratches
hmm
beard.
hmm
Rubs chin. Such a
hmm
quandary. What are we talking about?
hmm
You sound like Squidward now.
Rub chin. Sucks
SpongeBob.
cock. Rub cum off of chin.
Where? Oh yeah, fighting. Caesar gets cut up by Wamu, and the Pillarmen are gonna leave, but then Joseph pulls out his super cool ultimate new move, the fucking Hamon Clacker Volley. Ooh. He's pulling out clacker toys 30 years before they were invented,
Oh my god.
just to give
Fucking
him a cool walloping.
Joseph is so great. He just fucking so earlier I was talking about how like he's able to like surpass like Jonathan like just by using his like tactics. And like earlier we even saw that you know, he was also weaker than Caesar. But like he now here like he's using his tactics to like, you know,
Catch
fight
up with the
catch up and get on an even higher level,
yeah,
you
with
could
the
say.
fucking physical gods.
Yeah. Like he's not like he's not even using like he's using Hamon obviously to enhance his physical abilities during this, but he's not like he's just attacking them with these fucking balls basically. And it's
Mm,
crazy.
yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, and yeah, he uses the clackers, even though they're fucking weird and dumb, and like he accidentally bonks himself on the
That
noggin
was
with them.
good.
He bonks Wham on the noggin with him, and he takes out a chunk of his head, and that's pretty cool.
Hmm.
But then he gets the shit kicked out of him by the divine sandstorm. Woo! The divine dubstep storm, and he gets all fucked up by it. And like it looks like he's like gonna like run away. He's like crawling to a mine cart, and he's gonna like playing dead whenever Wham looks back at him.
Oh my
And
god.
then the narration actually comes in and says like, "Look at him being so cowardly. Is this the face of a hero? Actually, yes. Joseph is a hero, and this is why." Like the narration has to come in like assure us that he's not a total bitch or something.
That was so good.
Really?
No, like where he's he's just playing dead. I was
Oh yeah.
losing my absolute shit when I got to that
Wham
part.
just keeps looking back at him, and every time he's just back in the perfect position.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so good.
that was pretty wacky. And yeah, it was all part of his plan to get Wham away from not Joseph, Caesar
Speedwagon
and
and
Speedwagon
Caesar.
and Caesar. Yeah, so then he rides the minecart all the way back down, all the way down into out of the place. Whoa. Oh yeah, I
Oh
had a note here. I forgot. When after Mark dies, when Caesar and Joseph are getting all worked up, he's being like, they keep talking about him as like he was just a hard-working boy. He loved his country. He loved his girl. He loved his family. I can't let this happen. Mark was still a Nazi. The culture divide is real. I just wanted to go back and mention that because like hearing that kind of stuff about him now is weird. But yeah,
Eh.
back to the fight. Uh, it's cool seeing this dynamic between the modern, wacky, tricky fighter Joseph and the fair fighting, stoic warrior Wham. It's really cool, both here and later in the story. And I especially feel this when they're on the minecart because the way Wham sees through all of Joseph's like plans, like pulling the brakes and the dynamite, he's like both curious and like displeased with these tricks Joseph has, and like you can see it on his face. He's like happily screwing him over out of these plans, but he's obviously enjoying this tit for tat, fitting his like warrior spirits, and like that kind of leads into the end of this confrontation where Joseph manipulates that warrior spirit into getting away. But then also that leads into the whole poison rings bit.
I thought this was pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Jojo just he's like a strategist. He's not just like, he doesn't just go in and fight and just overpower his enemy.
Mm.
And he the thing is he didn't even like really like fully think it through. He all of a sudden he had this plan and he just executed it.
He's
And when it
improvising it.
actually worked, he was so surprised.
Yeah, he's so surprised that he's like, fuck, I should have said 1 year and not 1 month. Fuck.
That was good.
Yeah. The poison wedding rings, it's a nice touch. It's a nice like showing that Joseph was gonna try to just bail, but like now he can't really.
Secret Joestar technique.
Bail. Yeah. And Caesar comes in and he holds Joseph in the moonlight in a very bro-ish way. They're definitely not gay. Just trust me on this.
No, they're not.
Yeah. Oh, they're in love.
Why would you
They're
ever
in love
say
with
that?
each other. They're so in love with each other. Honestly.
Man, I'm just like looking at this panel of AC/DC with a prego belly. It's just glorious.
I think the only reason he ate the dynamite was because like Araki realized like, oh yeah, it's already lit. It's gonna go off. So he just made it so that it wouldn't go off near Joseph. So he just had him fucking eat it. What a wacky thing.
So fucking stupid.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Cars is there. He's the leader, but he doesn't actually do anything in this section of the story, really.
he's just like, I guess you
What are you
guys
talking
can
about?
do whatever.
He had
Yeah.
a very important line.
What?
He grabbed Jojo by the throat and he said, "I've been sleeping for 2,000 fucking years. How does Taco Bell not have a breakfast menu yet?"
I've been sleeping for 2,000 years, and I forgot to fucking set the DVR. I missed all of the fucking SpongeBob episodes.
He's just like, I left my refrigerator running.
And Jess is like, you better go catch it, and then he gets murdered for his tribulation.
Well,
He would. He would say something like that.
all right. So
Moving on
yeah.
to the last little section we'll cover, which is the start of their training. They go to Venice, and they 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 meet up with Caesar's Hamon master, who's gonna put him through the ringer the next month. And ooh, a what? It's a girl? Oh,
It's a girl.
yeah. Lisa Lisa.
Ew.
Yeah. That,
Ew.
that's pretty much the
That's
reaction.
Jojo.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's pretty much Joseph's reaction. But that's also kind of the reaction that like 80s Japan boys would have had, according to
Ew, I'm
Araki.
gonna be trained by a girl.
Back to the fucking Jojonium volumes that I've got right here. The fucking idea of like a lady fighter in shonen series was it's like I guess a new thing in 80s shonen Japan stuff,
Very
because
strange.
Araki talks about how like, it's normal to see strong women these days, but back then it was unheard of. So like, you know, even if she wasn't really like part 2 as a whole, even if she wasn't used to what I think is like her full potential as a character, um like this was a
She
new
kind of
thing.
paved the way for future
Yeah,
characters.
characters like Genkai, Bisky, Yoruichi, characters like that. They have Lisa to thank.
Yeah.
And she's given a good intro with like the Ortrix beating the shit out of Joseph. It seems like the fact that she was masked for this confrontation initially and only took it off after she did something cool, like kick the shit out of Joseph.
It's cool because it kind of like removes your preconceptions like initially, and so like
Yeah,
when you finally learn that she's a girl, it's just like, oh, wow,
yeah,
that was actually a
pretty,
girl the whole time.
pretty much. Yeah, that seems like what Araki was going for. He wanted people to
Mm.
give people this impression of like, oh, this is a strong person before the reveal, so that all of, like the little Japan boys back in '87 wouldn't see her right
And
away
just
and
like
think like,
immediately
oh,
scoff and like, oh,
yeah, like, oh, it's a girl. It's not gonna do anything. Like it's a good introduction anyway, but like that really shows like the thought go into it and the
yeah,
respect he had for the character, how he wants other people, other readers to respect this character and put gender out of their mind. And
it's pretty cool.
that's kind of like she's like the mentor for this part, and like Araki's intention, according to this interview, was that he wanted to portray her as like this tough and like almost sadistic type of mentor, as like a contrast to Baron Zeppeli being so like kind of goofy, like openly emotional, and like, oh, he's taking it slow with Jonathan, not really throwing him into the deep end with anything beyond the tunnel section. He wanted to do something different with Lisa, so he had her like do all this crazy like sink or swim training instead, and like be more stoic and cold. And it paid off because she's a real cool character, along with like that, like it, and that kind of like near sadistic tone with her is pretty clear in the initial ass kicking and in the breathing mask that she makes Joseph wear, because it's not just to be cruel. It has a purpose, but like if you're not doing it right, you're gonna suffocate yourself. You know.
It's just fucking ruthless.
Mm.
She
Speaking of
just,
roof,
yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Before we move on, last little uh fucking music reference lay down. Lisa is named after the band Lisa and Cult Jam, and the name of her island, Air Supply Island, is named after the band Air Supply.
Hmm.
And her two dudes that we meet near the end of this little section we're reading are named after the band Loggins and Machina.
One thing that I find a little interesting is that, obviously Arky knows all this like cool like classic rock stuff, which is like an American thing. So like it's cool to like think about that, like how there's like such like cultural not appropriation, cultural diffusion is what I meant to say. Uh, you know,
Yeah,
even like back in the 80s. Like that's pretty cool.
yeah. He's commented how like he never really likes regular Japanese music, and he's more into like Western rock and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hmm.
I really like the training bit where they're trying to climb the pillar and
Oh
there's
yeah,
like the oil and everything. I thought
I
that
like
was
that.
really cool.
I agree. It's a nice little. It's a nice. It makes sense of like how this is training and stuff and how it's so dangerous, but it's also got like that kind of like Iraqi weirdness. Like, oh, they're not just like fighting tough opponents; they're trying to climb a pillar of olive oil. It's
No,
downright
like it's
wacky.
cool like the way that each of them solves the problem that Caesar and Jojo solve the problem. Caesar, he does it by learning to control his hormone like in a very specific, accurate way. Like he wants to be able to output two different kinds of hormone at the same time, basically, throughout different
Hmm.
parts of his body. And
Hmm.
then Jojo, he takes the fucking outside of the box approach, and he just fucking glides on the oil, and it's cool as shit.
Exactly. I have pretty much that same note here. The end of the Hell Pillar climb. It shows us how they're kind of different characters who solve problems in different ways. Joseph goes for the out of the box, crazy style of solving a problem, whereas Caesar will go for the more
The straightforward
direct path,
approach.
the straightforward approach that rely on his mastery of Hamon. Whereas Joseph, it's more of just Hamon is more just like the flavor to his
It's just a
gimmick.
tool that he uses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's
it's
nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the Hell Pillar climb. And they start training. They start their training, the month of training with Lisa and Loggins and Messina. And if you're watching the anime along, you might think this is the end of the section, but there's one last little scene that was completely absent from the anime where they're back on the mainland and Lisa gets approached by another weird lumpy asshole thug dude with a huge ass pompadour. It looks like if part four's Josuke was like drawn in this Iraqi asshole style.
Yeah,
And we
though.
see we
It's a
see
little weird.
Joseph we see Joseph beat him up. Well, he doesn't actually beat him up. He just squirts him with mustard.
7 pages. The 7-page mustard squirt.
Yeah. And he even says like the mustard doesn't have a point. It's just to tick you off.
It's great.
Yeah, and the end of the chapter is revealing that the guy was he was trying to rob Lisa, and the thing he was trying to take with her is the Redstone of Aja. She has it.
She had the redstone of Aja all along. Oh my
What?
god.
Whoa!
One thing that I really like about this portion of the story is like how there's the countdown, like the how
Countdown and
many days are left and everything.
the countdown to the mustard scene. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, the countdown to the mustard scene. Pretty cool. Like, in between each individual like scene, you get a little bit of a countdown. You
Yeah,
see how much time has passed and
28
how
days
much
till
progress
the
they've made.
yeah. It's a nice.
Is this in the
It
anime?
adds the ticking clock thing. I think so. Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Uh yeah. And I like that Lisa has the red stone because like it's connected to Hamon, the red stone, and like just having it be connected to the heroes too makes it so that it's not just like this thing that's keeping the villains arbitrarily from their goals, you know?
Hmm. Well, I guess it like, well, I don't know anything about the Redstone of Aja at this point, so
It's just kind of like a MacGuffin, but like Araki uses it to
it's
its
important to
full
both
extent.
parties.
It's important to both parties, and it stays like relevant even beyond like its intended use, if that makes sense. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Uh, you'll see what I'm talking about next time.
Um.
Next time.
Well.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk a little bit about part two right now.
Do
I
it.
mean, we're not done with part two, but I want to give a little bit of my thoughts on, just overall on this part that
Do
uh
it.
we've been talking about. Last time,
Okay.
we got through part one. I thought back then I said part one is probably going to be my favorite part, and just because like I'm more interested in like the more grounded story, and obviously it's just the further you get into the series, the more like escalated, like wacky it gets.
Hmm.
But I mean, I still pretty much stand by that. I think part one. I think right now I like part one better. But I mean, as of this part, the parts of like
As far as you
this
and part two.
section that I
Yeah.
liked, I definitely liked the fight against Wham. That was really cool.
Mm.
Although I didn't, there was a lot of stuff that I just like couldn't really keep track of, or like that I
Yeah.
couldn't follow.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
I don't know, because it
that's
just
kind.
gets so weird and like esoteric, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Araki's still early in his career. I think by part three, the fights, the way they flow and keeping track of things. Even by the end of part two, I think the flow of the fights and like keeping track of what's going on gets better.
Yeah, and I also really liked the training with the oil pillar thing. That was
Yeah,
cool.
that was fun.
That
I
was
think
very
you'll
cool.
I
I
think
like the
you'll
training parts in general.
yeah. Training arcs are depending on how they go, they can be way more cool. This was a cool little section.
Yeah.
And
So
I
so
think you'll
far,
enjoy
I think the training arcs have been some of my favorite parts of JoJo.
hmm,
But yeah, that was the first part of part two. Uh,
I think you'll enjoy the second part. It's chapters 32 to 69 and episodes 17 to 26.
damn,
So
a
we're gonna
whole.
talk about the rest of part two next episode.
Oh yeah,
Catch you
that should
then.
be in 2 weeks. Hopefully,
Yeah.
as long as we don't have things happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Here's
even
links.
if yeah. Even if it does, I think we might have like something extra for you in between then and now.
Oh yeah, we're working on something.
Something.
Something. Yeah.
We'll see. You'll see. You'll
Um
all see.
yeah, so here's all the links on the screen. Make sure to follow us or whatever if you want. Um
Mm.
and yeah, we'll be back soon.
Take care, babies. Goodbye.